Hi everybody, Dave here. Welcome to New to You Fishing Workshop. A few months ago, I made a video regarding how to repair your fishing rod. In that case, it was a break in the upper portion and up closer to the tip, and I showed you how to use the carbon fiber insert repair rods that you can buy on Amazon to fix that. And that's a fairly common repair. Car doors slamming, um, falling over in the garage and catching on, something else, uh, truck tailgates, those kind of things. That's fairly common. But it also did require the special carbon fiber rods, which everybody may not have available. Today we have a new repair, which we're going to work on. And this is actually a fairly nice rod. It's a beautiful 7-foot star deluxe rod. And this one has a handle problem, as you can see. My suspicion is this one got run over. Based on the kind of damage that I see and what I've seen before. Um, when I got it, this was attached, and I fully in it, but it was flexing and moving, and so I knew it was damaged and crushed. So I did pull the grip apart to get access, and we'll show you the inside. But it wouldn't have been the first time that somebody has run over a fishing rod in the driveway, in the garage. It falls over, you don't realize it, and then you go and back the car out, and there's your result. So rather than use the carbon fiber rods, which I did not have one large enough anyway to fix this. This is about a 1/2 inch ID on this nice star rod. It requires a trip to Home Depot or Lowe's or your local hardware store to find the right piece of plastic. And I thought everybody can do that. You don't need to have the carbon fiber rods. You just need some epoxy and the right piece of plastic. And that's what we've done. So let's show you up close a little bit more what the problem is, what we've done to solve it, or what we're going to do to solve it. Let me show you a little close-up of inside this rod here. So I've got a little auxiliary light, and you can see those white lines running axially down the depth of the rod. That's really it's fractured, it's cracked, broken, crushed, and of course the other piece is the same way. So it's something that you do have to be careful how you repair this. So as I mentioned, the next part of this repair is a trip to Home Depot. And I took this butt end with me, and I went down the plumbing and the electrical aisle looking for something that was the right diameter. There were, in the sprinkler section, there were some pieces that were close. In the fittings area, there were some things that were close. Nylon, which I thought they were too short. There were some nylon barb fittings about 3 inches long. I wanted to go a little longer. I made it down to the CPVC section. Let's talk about CPVC for a minute. It's chlorinated polyvinyl chloride, and what the C in CPVC means is that it's more temperature resistant. In many parts of the country, you can still use this for hot water piping. It's good up to 100 and I think it's 200 degrees actually. So that means it's more heat resistant, heat tolerant. Um, and as you know, most plastics, you can bend them easily if you put heat to them. I didn't want something that was going to be subject to bending if it sat out in the sun too long. It's wrapped in black, and so it's going to get warm from sunlight. And it's a fishing rod, so it's going to be outside. So the CPVC seemed to be the best option for me. It was just a little bit large, and it was close enough. I could get it in there, but I didn't want to split this. I didn't want to split the existing rod open any, but it was close, and it was primarily an issue with getting it started since the ends were sharp. So we ended up buying a 10-foot piece. Here it is. We're only using, what is that, 6-8 inches, something like that. So we've got a 6 or 8 inch piece cut off, and then we put a bevel on both ends. Did that with a simple hand file, which I'm assuming most people have that around. And then to work on the diameter a little bit, as well as give the epoxy a place to go, I took this is a half round, so or round flat, flat on one side, round on this side. I took the round edge and I just worked it all the way around to give that epoxy a place to go. Let me see if you'll be able to see that. Maybe not. If I rotate it, you should be able to see the teeth marks from the file that are ground into that. So that'll give the epoxy a place to grab. And it also works to reduce the diameter a little bit. It won't put quite so much stress on possibly opening up the damage that we've already had. So there is a little witness mark here, and I've kind of planned this out so that my intention is to put the butt end in about that far, and then go up towards the reel about that far, reel seat. So that's our plan. There's really not much to it. I am going to use the Flex Coat epoxy instead of 5 minute. If all you have is the 5 minute epoxy, use that. But I am going to use the Flex Coat epoxy, which does allow for a little give, and I want this to have a little give because the carbon fiber rod has a little give to it, and I want to be able to maintain that. And the fact that it's been broken means it's probably going to have more give in that high stress zone, right where those two come together. That pipe will be under a lot of stress there. So that's the plan. We're just going to, and I've done several test fits here to know how that's done, or to know how it fits. We're just going to mix up some epoxy now, and we'll install some inside the butt and the rod end. We'll make sure it gets covered well. We'll get it all rotated. We'll probably even cover our insert as well, and cover that in epoxy. We'll slide the two together, get at least to the witness mark, and then we'll put our other end in here. Not really too much else to see. Let's just get on with it. Oh, this is the other thing the Flex Coat epoxy will help with. If you use 5 minute epoxy, the EVA foam around here, once these two pieces get put back together where they belong, let's see, it's right there. If you use the 2-part epoxy, the 5 minute version, there's going to be a rigid area here, right along the seam where the two pieces are coming together. You won't have any cushion, because that epoxy is going to really hold it up as a cushion. The benefit of using the Flex Coat is it will give a little bit of flex, just like the EVA gives a little bit. So that's another reason to use the Flex Coat, is it'll keep a little flex in this grip. All right, let's go to the next step and put it all together. All right, we've got our epoxy measured out here, the resin and the hardener. We just mix it up a little. Make sure it's thoroughly mixed. And we're going to start with the butt. We're going to put some of the epoxy in the end. Make sure we've got that. We're going to take some more epoxy. We're going to coat our insert that's well covered. All right, we're in good shape there. You know, it's a tight fit, so a lot of it's actually going to get pushed off as we push this in up to our red line, but that's okay. And we're kind of counting on a little overage to use to secure the grip. So we'll twist and turn. You have to push a little. Yeah, it's pretty tight. I'm gonna use my vice grips, get a little more leverage on it, and rotating up to the red line. Where's our red line? There it is. All right, right about there. There's our red line. And you can see we've got some oozing around the edge. That's fine. We can clean all that up with alcohol afterwards. So I want to make sure I apply some more. Now to this end, you didn't really put any epoxy. And you have plenty of working time with this flex coat. It's not like the 5-minute epoxy. It has a total dry time of about 8 hours actually. So it's something to keep in mind. All right, that's that. Here's our butt end, and we're gonna work this in. Sorry, I gotta make sure I keep working on camera here. And it's scraping some off and it'll drip, that's okay. Let me find our place where we're gonna line up here. There it is. Okay, not quite there. I'm gonna pound it on the floor a little bit. See if I can clean up this drip. I don't want to make a mess on the floor. All right, a couple pounds on the ground, and you can see it's oozing out a little bit now, so we've got to clean this up. And the way you do that is just with a little alcohol wipe. All right, a little alcohol on paper towel. We'll just go around, clear that off. This will be good to check and make sure we've also really got the alignment exactly where we want it. Looks like right about there. Now once that, wipe it again. Now I am going to put this under some compression so that you can see on this side, maybe nice and tight. This side maybe opened a little. We'll soften it. We can heat this also with a heat gun. It'll help the epoxy flow a little bit better. But I'm going to put this under some compression. And I'll do that just by load a reel on here and just let it sit in a vertical position. But that's essentially what we've got. Yes, you can still see the line, you know, where we opened up the EVA, but not horrible. More on one side than the other. We'll have to see if we can fill that with a little more material and make that invisible. That's probably not a bad idea. Let's do that right now. All right. Let's wipe that again. All right, we're gonna let this dry. We'll come back and we'll show you the final product. Our epoxy has now dried. There you can see it. You can see the witness mark line, you know, the seam where we put it together. There's a little bit of shininess. That's some epoxy going into the EVA pores at the surface. I'll see if I can maybe sand that down a little, remove some of that shininess. It's got a little give to it. You can still tell that, you know, it's been repaired, but generally very usable. Strength is really good, so I'm happy with that. That'll keep fishing. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to New to You Fishing. Thanks a lot. Bye.